guys, and welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. I am so pumped and excited that you guys are all here with me taking this journey. If you don't know, my name is Bekka, and I have created this channel because I love to read, I love all things books, and I just wanted to share everything I've read, reviews, recommendations, all of that kind of things that are related to books with you guys. So welcome. This channel is going to be super fun, and I just hope that it's a place where you can come and maybe discover a book that you haven't read or an author you've never heard of, and just be able to pick up a book, immerse yourself in it, and kind of just lose yourself in the book, because that's what I love to do. So this video is actually going to be my top 10 favorite series or trilogies. These are in a particular order. It was really hard for me to choose the top 3 because they are all like so near and dear to my heart, and I love them all so much. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, number 10 is probably going to be a series of books that people will judge me for, especially since this is my first video. But you know what? That's okay, because I don't read to impress other people. I read to entertain myself and to take myself away into mystical fantasy lands, and just different from every normal day life. The first series on my list is Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. You have Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn. Again, I read these at a time in my life when I needed an escape. I needed something that could take me away from everyday normal life, and these books absolutely did that. Yes, they are about vampires. Yes, it is a young adult book, and yes, the writing is not that amazing, but I really loved the storyline. I thought the characters were okay, and it was one of those reads that I just devoured. And I actually started reading this series when only the first 2 books were out, so I had to wait for the last 2. And then when the movies came out, I was really excited, and they're okay. I thought they were a pretty good adaptation from book to film. So yep, number 10, the Twilight series. Moving right along to number 9, I actually do not own any of these books. I'm really hoping to be able to buy them soon. They are the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series by Riordan. Now this series, I know it had come out a long time ago, but I actually just started reading it this year, and let me tell you, I loved it. So there are 5 books in the series, and they are The Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian. And these books were so easy to read, and they were so packed full of adventure, and the characters are so awesome, and you find yourself rooting for them and just being like, yeah, go, woo! And it was just a really entertaining read. I thought Riordan does a great job of bringing the mythological world to life, and yeah, I really enjoyed these books. Like I said, I got to them late, but that's okay because I've read them now, and I'm really excited to be able to read other Riordan books in the future. Moving right along to number 8. Number 8 is another young adult series. You'll kind of notice that I have a theme going on, but that's okay because I like that genre, the young adult genre. But number 8 is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. You have The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. And when I first read these, I was completely and utterly obsessed. I just wanted to find out what happened to Katniss. I had never read anything like this in my life, and I think these were actually the first dystopian world novels that I had ever read, and I read the first 2 before the last book had come out, so it was really hard for me to wait to, you know, be able to finish the story. The 3rd book, Mockingjay, was not my favorite, and I know that that is a pretty common theme across the board with people that have read it, but I thought all in all it was a really good series. There were times when you cried, where you were sitting on the edge of your seat and biting your nails because you didn't know what was going to happen. But if you really like adventure and the whole like end of the world times dystopian society, then you should check this out. So number 7 is another young adult fiction series, and again, it's along the lines of the theme of vampires, and that is the Vampire Academy by Richelle Mead. Now, Don't be fooled by the title of the books or the covers because they're not that great. The titles of the books are as follows: The Vampire Academy, Frostbite, Shadow's Kiss, Blood Promise, Spirit Bound, and Last Sacrifice. Now, like I said, the titles are not that good, but the storyline is fantastic and you're completely sucked in, and there's adventure and there's drama and there's romance and friendship, and it's a really, really intricate, complicated storyline, and I just remember being completely taken away into this world, and I devoured the books. I read through them, I think all 6 of them in like a week or 2. Moving right along, number 6. Number 6 is something that I found a few years ago, and I actually saw the movie first, which doesn't happen often. I typically read the books first and then see the movie, but this was flipped, and that is the Chronicles by, let me see, I have it written down here, by Garcia and Margaret Stool. And like I said, I saw the movie first, and I had no desire to read the books. I thought the movie was not that great, but I decided to go ahead and give the books a shot. The title of the books are as follows: Beautiful Creatures is number 1, Beautiful Darkness number 2, Beautiful Chaos number 3, and Beautiful Redemption number 4. I really, really enjoyed these books. I read them rather quickly. They also are a young adult set of books. There are 4 in the series, and they are really good, really entertaining, and I just highly recommend them. I really, really loved the series a lot. We're halfway there, guys. Number 5. Number 5 is a series that I'm sure not a lot of people have heard about. It is a Christian fiction series, and that is the Left Behind series by Jenkins and Tim LaHaye. And there are, I believe, 13 books in the series. The titles are Left Behind, Tribulation Force, Nikolai, Soul Harvest, Apollyon, Assassins, The Mark, The Indwelling, Desecration, The Remnant, Armageddon, The Rising, and The Glorious Appearing. So there are 12 books in total, and these books have followed me for, I want to say, like 15 years. Way back when I was like, I don't know, 15, 14 years old, my mom was like, you have to read these books, they're so good. They're based off of the biblical book of Revelation and like the rapture and the end times, but they are completely and utterly amazing, and they suck you in, and the storyline is just go, 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 and people die, and it's crazy. Like, it is seriously, from the first page, you're like, whoa, wow. So yes, this series is one of my all-time favorites. Like I said, it is a Christian fiction series, so if you're not really into religious overtones, it might not be the book for you, but if you are, it's a fantastic look at an interpretation at how the rapture or the end times are going to come about. I highly recommend them. Number 4 is a series that was written by my all-time favorite author. Her name is Philippa Gregory. She is a historical fiction author, and I have just loved every single book that I've ever read from her. There has not been one book that I haven't liked, and the series that falls in at number 4 is The Cousins' War. This, I believe, is the first book in the series. It is called The White Queen, and it follows the story of the Plantagenets and the Tudors and how the Tudor family came to be on the throne of England. It is so intoxicating, and there's betrayal, and there's love, and there's romance, and there's witchcraft, and there's murder and deception. It's seriously fantastic, you guys, like seriously fantastic. The title of the books are as follows: The White Queen, The Red Queen, The Lady of the Rivers, The Kingmaker's Daughter, The White Princess, and The King's Curse. So there are a total of 6 books in this series. They are in that order, but you want to actually read them in like the chronological order, and I will put that in the link below or in the description box below, what the chronological chronological order is, because it just makes a little bit more sense that way. The books in the series were released in the order that I read the titles, but like I said, you want to read them chronologically for it to like follow timelines, I guess, a little bit better. But you can read each of these books as a standalone. You don't necessarily have to read any of the other books in this series to understand this story. Alright guys, we've made it to the top 3. The next series is the one that I'm currently reading. Again, I don't have the actual physical books. I've been reading these on ebook, and I've loved it. I've loved to be able to read them. You're not really probably going to be able to see the title, but it's Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, and let me tell you, I am so completely obsessed with this series. These were recommended to me by a really good friend of mine, Haley. Hello, Haley. And oh my gosh, it took me a really long time to actually like tell myself, okay, you want to read these. I was always intrigued by the story, but they are really daunting books. They're really long, and I want to say there's 8 in the series. The titles are as follows. Book 1 is Outlander, 2 is Dragonfly and Amber, followed by Voyager, then Drums of Autumn. Number 5 is The Fiery Cross. Number 6 is A Breath of Snow and Ashes. Number 7 is An Echo in the Bone. And then number 8 is Written in My Own Heart's Blood. And there are some other companion novels, but I'm only going to read the 8 in the actual Outlander series. And these books are completely amazing. I just don't even know what else to say. Like, they are so good. You follow the main character, Claire Randall, who is a combat nurse in World War II, and she happens to get thrown back in time to 18th century Scotland, where her whole world is turned upside down. It's full of magic and romance and heartbreak and just deception and everything that you could want in an amazing novel. And the writing style is phenomenal. It's historical. It's a historical fiction novel, but you feel as if it could have really happened, or as if you could possibly go back in time. And that's why I love this series so much, because it completely draws you in and it immerses you in the life of these characters. And it's just, I give it like 500 stars up, or 500 thumbs up, whatever that is called. So yeah, I love it, and we'll move right along. Okay, number 2 is also written by my favorite author, Philippa Gregory, and this series is the Tudor Court series. It's the series that has the other Boleyn girl. This is actually book 2, and this follows the story of King Henry VIII, and like the ladies that, all of his women that he was married to. So you have Catherine of Aragon and Boleyn, and, you know, just the other women that were in his life. The books are as follows. Number 1 is The Constant Princess. Number 2, which is being released actually August 9th of this year, so I'm super excited about that. But number 2 is called Three Sisters, Three Queens. Number 3, so this is number 3. This is The Other Boleyn Girl. This is actually my favorite book of all time. If you have not read it, do so. Number 4 is The Boleyn Inheritance. Number 5 is The Taming of the Queen. Number 6 is The Queen's Fool. Number 7 is The Virgin's Lover, and number 8 is The Other Queen. Again, these stories are completely filled with adventure and drama and romance and heartbreak, and they're so deliciously written and good. And the thing I really love about Philippa Gregory, again, she's a historical fiction author, but she spends like 2 years researching the topic that she is writing about, so that way she gets as many facts and details as she can. Obviously, the story itself is fictitious, but the facts and a lot of the locations in the book are completely 100% real. So it truly feels like you're reading a story of something that really, really happened, which you are a lot of the time. Obviously, like the dialogue and the day-to-day personal lives, we can't really know about. But these stories, I've read the books, I want to say like 3 or 4 times each. I go through times when I want to reread the whole series, and I'm super excited for that book coming out in August. I'm definitely gonna pick it up and read it, and I'll let you guys know what I think. Alright, you guys, we've made it to my number 1 favorite series of all time, and if you guessed it, then you get a gold star. This is a lot of booktubers' favorite series, and that is the Harry Potter series. I came to this series really late. I did not read them as a child. My mother actually did not want me to read them because it's full of witchcraft and wizardry and magic, and my mother was completely against that. But when I was about 16 or 17 actually is when my boyfriend at the time, who is now my husband, said, you have to read these books, they're amazing, they're incredible. And like the Chronicles series, I actually had watched the first couple of movies in the Harry Potter series before I read any of the books, and I fell in love. I completely fell in love, and I devoured the books. I think I started reading them before the last book came out. That tends to be a theme with me. And as soon as the last book came out, my husband Justin and I ran to the bookstore. We bought the book and we took turns reading it. I think we both read the book in like 6 hours. I'm sure everybody knows the titles of the books, but if you do not, they are as follows. Number 1 is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Then the second book is The Chamber of Secrets. The Prisoner of Azkaban is number 3. Number 4 is The Goblet of Fire. Number 5 is The Order of the Phoenix. Number 6 is The Half-Blood Prince, which is my personal favorite in the series. And then number 7, the final book, is The Deathly Hallows. And I don't even have to really say anything about these series. They speak for themselves. Go pick them up, read them if you haven't. They are phenomenal books. The writing is so magical, and I wish that I could live in a world where this exists, because it just makes regular life seem so incredibly boring. Alright, you guys, that is it. We have gone over my top 10 favorite series or trilogies of all time. I really hope you enjoyed this video and that you found the information exciting and it inspired you to go out and pick up a series that you haven't read that I may have mentioned, or reread a series just so you can relive the magic. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe because I put out a new video every single Friday. And don't forget, pick up a book, immerse yourself in it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.